Can you imagine going to a funeral and the body in the coffin wakes up? Or even worse, can you imagine waking up at your own funeral? Hey you guys, I'm nataliebenns, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 7 different true stories from 7 different countries all around the world of people who woke up after being pronounced dead. This is some creepy shit. Let's get right into it. This first story takes place in America. In 2014, a 79-year-old man by the name of Walter Williams was about to be embalmed. So how did they discover that he wasn't actually dead and he was very much alive? Because he started kicking inside his body bag. How terrifying would that have been for the person who discovered this? Of course, he was mistakenly pronounced dead, and apparently the confusion was due to his pacemaker turning off. This next story takes place in India. In June 2019, a 20-year-old man by the name of Mohammed Furqan was pronounced dead following an accident. At his own funeral, just before he was about to be buried, some family members noticed movement, so he was rushed to hospital where he was placed on a ventilator, and he was very much alive. This next story takes place in Egypt. In 1999, a 32-year-old teacher was taking a holiday to Egypt. His name was Ali Abdel-Rahim Mohammed. While swimming off a nearby beach, he collapsed and was pronounced dead and placed in a mortuary refrigerator. He woke up in there but was too cold to speak, so to get the attention of an attendant who was working there, he reached out and grabbed the attendant's hand. This attendant was trying to close the fridge door at the time, but of course, Mr. Muhammad wanted to show that he was still alive, and this is the only option he felt he had. The attendant screamed and ran, and Mr. Muhammad got up and went in search of a phone to call his family. This next story takes place in Poland. Janina, Kolkiewicz, a 91-year-old Polish woman, was declared dead, and after spending 11 hours in cold storage in a mortuary, it was discovered that she was still alive. This was discovered when mortuary staff noticed movement in her body bag. Back home, it said that Miss Kolkiewicz was warmed up with a bowl of soup and 2 pancakes. Now we move on to Kenya. A Kenyan man, Paul Mutora, tried to kill himself by swallowing insecticide, and he was pronounced dead. He was taken to the hospital's mortuary, and the next day the workers there were shocked to discover that he seemed to be moving and also appeared to be breathing. Luckily, he was saved before he could be embalmed. This next story takes place in Russia. In 2011, in Kazan, Russia, a heart attack victim, Fagilyu Mukhametzyanov, woke up screaming in her open coffin. She woke up screaming when she realized where she was, in a coffin. She was rushed back to hospital and put into intensive care, but sadly only lived for another 12 minutes. Reports suggested that Miss Mukhametzyanov, who was 49 years old at the time, had died of another heart attack, which they believed was brought on by the shock of waking up at her own funeral. And this next story takes place in China. In 2012, a 95-year-old woman, Miss Xiufeng, had fallen and suffered a head injury. About 2 weeks after this, a neighbour of hers found her in bed, seemingly lifeless. Her neighbour, Chen Qingwang, pushed her and repeatedly called her name, but said that she had no response and no reactions. The woman was laid in a coffin inside her house for several days so that friends and family members could come pay their respects to her, which was in keeping with local custom. Mr. Kingwang, the neighbour, decided not to bother with nailing down the lid of the coffin. 6 days after the lady had died, the neighbour, Mr. Kingwang, returned to the home to find the coffin was empty. The lid had been removed and the corpse had gone. Neighbours were called to help and they found Miss Xiufeng sitting on a stool in her kitchen cooking, just casually cooking in a kitchen. She said, and I quote, "I slept for a long time. After waking up, I felt so hungry and wanted to cook something to eat." She also added that exiting the coffin had not been easy. She said, "I pushed the lid for a long time to climb out." Whoa, these stories are crazy. I can't actually decide which I think is worse, being the person who wakes up after being pronounced dead. That's going to be pretty shocking. Or being a friend or a family member who witnesses a loved one waking up when you think that they are dead. It's a tough one because obviously you'd be completely shocked to see them wake up, but also you've got them back. What do you guys think? Comment below because I'd be really interested to know what you think would be the worst case scenario. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up to let me know that you did enjoy it. And also, if you're not yet subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Don't forget the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. What was I saying? Join our YouTube family where we love everything creepy and freaky and strange and weird and scary and disturbing and mysterious. Can you tell I do not script this part? And all that good stuff. And if you're already a subscriber, no matter how long you've been here, thank you so much. I genuinely love you guys and I am so appreciative of your support. It really does mean the world to me. And we are getting closer and closer to 500 subscribers. So excited. So I would love to know, when I do reach 500, I want to do something special to thank you all for your support. So if you have any ideas of what you'd like me to do, let me know in the comment section. Anything you want, comment your suggestions, I'll go through them and we'll either have a vote or I'll just pick my favourite. Thank you once again and I will see you in my next video.